President Buhari has approved the deployment of advanced technology to tackle insecurity in the southeast.
January 2021 to June 2023, the ISR analyzed that at least 2 persons are killed daily in the region. The report revealed that Anambra State had the highest death rate recorded. This is followed by Imo State and Ebonyi State.
And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. They are making money with insecurity. 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop.
Why is Southeast Nigeria, once a peaceful place, turned into a zone of fear and violence? From unknown gunmen to bad response from the government, there is more to this story that you might think. So the big question is, why is insecurity very high in Southeast Nigeria? And who is to be blamed for this whole thing? Is it the federal government or Southeast governors? Or even the IPOB, the ESN, or the people of the Southeast in general? Stick around, let's find out on who is to be blamed for this unrest in Igbo land. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Firstly, let's talk on the root causes of insecurity in the Southeast. To understand why insecurity is on the rise, we need to look back in a bit. Southeast has been a region marked by complex history, from Biafran War in the late 90s to more recent demand for regional autonomy. Tensions have been simmering for decades. Today, groups like the IPOB advocate for a separate state, leading to clashes with the government and security forces. However, IPOB isn't the only factor. Poverty, unemployment, gun proliferation and criminal politics by corrupt political classes, impunity in law enforcement and criminal justice system in the region, and finally, the failure of the federal government to adopt an open-minded and holistic approach to handling the insecurity in the region of Southeast. Decades of limited federal investment have left many Southeasterners feeling neglected and disillusioned. Poverty rates are high, jobs are few, and infrastructure is lacking. All these factors create an environment where young people especially feel disenchanted and vulnerable to extremist narratives. This action in general brought the rise of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, on the clamor for freedom. In 2021, Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, was arrested for the second time by Nigerian authorities. His arrest was highly controversial as he had previously fled the country after being released on bail in 2017. This second arrest ignited intense reaction across the Southeast, where Kanu had become a symbol for those who felt the marginalization and underrepresented. In response to this, IPOB declared a sit-at-home order, intending it as a peaceful protest demanding Kanu's release. This sit-at-home order was intended as a peaceful statement of solidarity, but it didn't stay peaceful for long. To enforce compliance, members of IPOB armed wing, the Eastern Security Network (ESN), began threatening and attacking those who dared to defy the orders. Many initially supported the cause, but soon realized that refusing to participate could mean endangering their lives. But as the sit-at-home order continued, a darker side emerged. Armed men, known as unknown gunmen, began acting as the shadow of ESN. Critics against it saw it as a makings of the bad egg in the community and possibly government themselves.
The legitimate demand has been hijacked by criminals who have used it to perpetrate their own deals on the rest of the people of the Southeast.
The line between the ESN original purpose and the action of these masked gunmen started to blur, and ordinary people faced the consequences at the end of the day. These unknown gunmen have since become a shadow presence in Southeast, with different groups of them operating under the name of unknown gunmen with different targets. They have not only enforced it at home, but also have expanded their activities to include other violent acts, from robbery and arson to assassination attempts. Many fear leaving their homes, worried about becoming the next target.
We've come to serve our people, not to enslave them. Anybody conducting any type of activity that contravenes the welfare of our people is a criminal and must be dealt with.
Aside from the IPOB group emergence being one of the case cause, we have gun proliferation and spread of armed groups is another problem that has caused insecurity in the Southeast. The increased availability of illegal firearms, gun proliferation in Nigeria has long been an issue, but it has become especially critical in the Southeast, where numerous groups now have access to sophisticated weapons. The unchecked spread of these firearms fuel violence and enable criminals and rogue militants and politician thugs to carry out attacks with minimal accountability. This rise in armed groups is partly due to Nigerian porous borders, which allow arms smuggled from neighboring countries, and partly due to inadequate monitoring of domestic armed markets in a violation environment like the Southeast. These weapons has empowered not only political enforcers and agitators, but also every criminals, creating a hazardous atmosphere where life and property are constantly at its risk. Another cause is corrupt political practice and criminal politics. Note that corrupt politicians have played a significant role in fostering insecurity. In many cases, political elites have used violence as a tool to gain influence and suppress opposition. These politicians employ local thugs or militia groups to intimidate rivals and ensure political loyalty. As a result, these armed enforcers now operate with impunity, often engaging in criminal activities under protection of tolerance of local politicians. Furthermore, during the elections, certain candidates fuel instability to create an environment that discourages voting, manipulating the process in their favor. This widespread practice has made violence an accepted part of politics in the region, undermining governance and creating a vicious cycle of lawlessness. As communities become aware of these tactics, they become increasingly distrustful of the political class, feeling isolated and unprotected in a corrupt system that prioritizes power over people. And lastly is the role of the federal government in tackling the issue in Southeast. Many believe that the government has focused more on militaristic response than on addressing the root cause of the issues in Southeast. This approach has led to the repeated clashes between federal forces and local communities, intensifying hostilities and at times alienating residents from the government. Moreover, the government's unwillingness to engage open dialogue with the IPOB and the regional leaders has created a vacuum where frustration and anger among the people continue to grow. Without a comprehensive strategy to address political marginalization, economic hardship, and government failures in all ramifications has led to the insecurity in Southeast. Talking about who is to be blamed in all this, I must say there is a shared responsibility among the mentioned groups involved in this insecurity in Nigeria, especially the Southeast. Firstly is the IPOB. They have allowed violence to become associated with the mission, splintering into factions that have contributed to unrest, followed by the political class, which has exploited violence as a political tool, reinforcing a system where intimidation and impunity thrives. Thirdly, the law enforcement and the justice system have failed to uphold accountability, weakening public trust and enabling criminality. And lastly, the federal government has played part in this as well. They are yet to embrace a holistic, inclusive approach, focusing more on force than addressing root causes in Southeast. No doubt, to resolve this issue, Nigeria must adopt a multi-phased approach. This includes economic reforms, political transparency, armed control, community policing, and inclusive dialogue that consider the perspective of Southeastern people or community. Each stakeholder must be held accountable to restore peace and stability to the region which he governs. Only through a combination of social, economic, and political reforms can be the Southeast move towards a safer and more secure future. Insecurity in Southeast Nigeria affects everyone, and finding real solutions will take actions and accountability from all sides. People deserve a region where they can live and work in safety. What do you think about the biggest cause of the insecurity in the Southeast? Share your thoughts in the comment box below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification for more discussion of Nigeria's biggest issue. Bye for now.